Okay, so today we're going over Circumcenter and Incenter. So the objective is students will identify the differences in constructions between a Circumcenter and Incenter. So let's get into example 1. So here's asking you what is shown below. So if you notice all the items they give you here, you notice right away these 90-degree angles right here with these segments. Right away when you notice 90 degrees, you know there's a perpendicular bisector. So this is a perpendicular bisector. This is another perpendicular bisector. And this is another perpendicular bisector. So when you have perpendicular bisectors where all three of them meet in the middle, we call that that point right there is the circumcenter. And the circle that's formed here, we call it a circumscribed circle, and that circle is outside of the triangle. Okay, now let's get into example 2. Again, asking you what is shown below. So here, if you notice here in this triangle, you see these segments and they're going through this angle right here. So it's this segment going through that angle, this segment going through this angle, and this segment going through that angle as well. That means that these right here are angle bisectors. So this segment right here is an angle bisector. Same thing with this segment right here, angle bisector. And this segment right here is also an angle bisector. So that means this one cuts this angles into 2 equal parts. So you want to mark those as well. So this one has this 2 marks. And this last one over here will have 3 marks on it because they're all 3 different angles. And then 3 marks over here. So where the angle bisectors meet, right in the middle right there, we call this point the incenter. And the circle that's formed here is called an inscribed circle, which is inside the triangle. Okay, so now let's get into example 3. When you fill in these blanks, so it says here to create a circumcenter. So remember, to create a circumcenter, we use perpendicular bisector. And if you want to create an incenter, you have to use an angle bisector. And the last one on the bottom, it says a circumscribed circle is where that's outside the triangle. And an inscribed circle. So easy way to remember this is it says inscribed or inscribed circle is inside the triangle. So let's remember that. Very easy one to remember. Inscribed circle inside the triangle. Circumscribed circle outside the triangle. Okay, let's get example 4. Again, you're going to fill in the blanks. So here, the diagram on the left shows, okay, so if you notice here, these segments right here, these two of them, they're going through a side of the triangle, which means they form 90-degree angle there. And that's not shown, but that's what they form. And you see the circle is on the outside. So that means the diagram on the left shows a circumscribed circle because the circle's on the outside. And what's asking you in the next part says it has a circumcenter. So that's this point right here. That's the circumcenter. So you say a point O. So point O right there, where the lines meet in the middle, in the inside of the triangle, that's the circumcenter. So you say a point O. In example 5, again here, if you look at the diagram, these segments here, they're going through an angle. Same thing with this one. They're going through an angle. So that point right there in the, so what this, and you have your circle that's inside of the triangle. Okay. So it says the diagram on the left shows an inscribed circle. So we say it has an incenter, and the incenter is right here in the middle where the lines meet at point O. So incenter right there, we say at point O. Okay, example 6. So now here we're going to construct a circumcenter. So the way we construct it first is, so given this triangle, so we're going to go with two sides. Let's go with this side, and then we're going to go with this side right here. Like that. Okay. So these two sides. So what we need to find first is the midpoint, or the middle of this segment here. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna put a point right here. And think of that, that's the midpoint. Okay. Let me write that down. Okay, so we put a midpoint. And when you do a midpoint there, let me just draw a straight line vertical going through there. Okay. And this is a perpendicular bisector. Okay, so we do the same thing on the other side. So we just count the number of sides, the length of AB. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, so that means if you go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right here is my other midpoint. So my midpoint's right there. Just write that down, midpoint. Okay. And again, now this time we draw a horizontal line going through that point. So another perpendicular bisector here. Okay. Now this point right here where they meet, right there, we call that's the circumcenter. Okay, so that's all you have to do there. So that's for circumcenter. Okay, now example 7, we're going to construct an incenter. So for an incenter, we have to bisect the angle. So this time for incenter, and we have to bisect the angle. So we're going to start with one corner. Say this corner here. So I'm just going to draw a line going through the middle. And what this does is this angle here gets divided into two equal parts. Okay, then I could do another one. I'm just going to go with this side over here, this angle there. And I'm going to, so that's a angle bisector. Sorry, I forgot to put that there. And then the other angle, again, I'm going to bisect it. Draw a line going through the middle of that angle. And here we have another angle bisector. We only need two of these. So where they both meet, right there, so that means at that point, right here, we call that's the incenter. Okay, so example 8. So we're going to construct a circumcenter again here. So for the circumcenter, we use two of the sides. So we're going to use this side here, and then this side right here. So again, we're going to find the midpoint. So if I go, so if I look at this side right here, this has a length of 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half of 5 is about 2.5. So I'm going to put a midpoint here in the middle. So then I'm going to draw my, a little bit off. So actually it's right there. So there's the midpoint right there. So again, this is a perpendicular bisector. Okay, so now we draw another one on the other side. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4. So that means my midpoint is right here. I'm going to draw a horizontal line from there, which means that this segment right here is my perpendicular bisector. So now if you notice where they both meet, intersect right here at this point, that point right there is my circumcenter. Okay, next example. Before this, for Thanksgiving break, I'm going to New Mexico. Okay, so now example 9, we're going to construct an incenter. So again here, I'm just going to pick two of the angles. So I'm just going to say I'm going to use angle A and angle B to construct it. Okay, so I'm going to start off by drawing my first bisector through angle A. So that means that this one cuts these angles into two parts. And then it means that this is an angle bisector. Oh, I bisected the other one. So this one right here. Remember, it doesn't matter which one you use, as you bisect two. So this one, put 2 marks. And angle B, if you were to use one through there, you want to draw a line so that it goes through there. Okay, so, and then this one you would put it as 3. Okay, so now where all 3 lines meet, right there, so there's another angle bisector here. And same thing with this one right there, all 3 angle bisectors. So where they meet right there in the middle, this part right here, we say that's the incenter. So we're done with today's notes.